Steam rises from a small cup, dark, bitter, almost black. Today, coffee sits at the center of modern life. Offices run on it. Students depend on it. Entire cities wake to it. Yet few realize that coffee's documented story begins within the Muslim world. Travel back to the 15th century. In the highlands of Ethiopia, especially within the region of Kaffa, local communities were already familiar with the coffee plant. Precise details remain uncertain. Early written evidence is limited, and many popular stories were recorded centuries later. What historians can say with confidence is that by the 1400s, coffee had crossed the Red Sea into Yemen. Here, Muslims transformed coffee into a brewed drink. Sufi communities in Yemen appear to have been among the earliest adopters. Night worship required focus, and coffee helped worshippers remain alert during extended prayers. One of the strongest historical sources comes from Abdul Qadir al-Jaziri, a 16th century scholar who carefully documented coffee's emergence in Yemeni society and its connection to devotional life. Beans were roasted, ground, and brewed into a drink known as kahwa. It was the word which was once used to refer to wine. Coffee came to occupy a similar social space while remaining permissible. By the early 1500s, coffee traveled from Yemen into Mecca and Cairo. Gatherings formed around the drink, and dedicated coffee houses soon appeared. These spaces became centers of discussion. Scholars debated law and theology. Merchants negotiated deals. Poets shared new work. Travelers exchanged news. Public conversation had always existed in markets and mosques, yet coffee houses created a new setting where people could gather for extended discussion. Not everyone welcomed this shift. In 1511, the governor of Mecca, Khair Bek, moved to ban coffee after concerns arose about social behavior and political discussion. Scholars examined the drink closely. Many concluded that because it sharpened the mind rather than impaired it, prohibition was unjustified. The ban did not last. Over time, Ottoman authorities allowed coffee to circulate, although local restrictions occasionally appeared. By the mid-1500s, Istanbul had fully embraced coffee culture. The first recorded coffee houses there opened around 1554 to 1555, founded by merchants connected to Damascus and Aleppo. Brewers prepared thick, unfiltered coffee in small pots known today as kezve. The method remains largely unchanged. Meanwhile, the Yemeni port of Al-Maqqa emerged as a major export hub from the 16th through early 18th centuries. European and regional merchants purchased beans there, helping coffee move across trade routes that stretched into the Mediterranean and Indian Ocean worlds. Yemen maintained control over cultivation for many decades, though the exact methods used to protect that monopoly remain debated. Europe encountered coffee largely through Ottoman connections and Mediterranean trade. Venetian merchants imported it in the early 1600s. Some clergy initially viewed the drink with suspicion, calling it a foreign curiosity. A well-known tradition states that Pope Clement VIII tasted coffee around 1600 and approved it. Whether fully accurate or slightly embellished, coffee soon lost much of its stigma. England opened one of its earliest coffee houses in Oxford around 1650. London followed in 1652, when Pasqua Rosé established a venue that helped popularize the drink. These houses earned the nickname penny universities because a single coin granted access to lively intellectual exchange. France entered the coffee world in 1669 after an Ottoman ambassador introduced the beverage at the court of Louis XIV. Parisian cafes later attracted writers, philosophers, and political thinkers. For a time, Yemen remained the primary source of coffee, even as European merchants handled much of the shipping. That balance shifted in the late 1600s when the Dutch successfully cultivated coffee plants in Java. From there, colonial networks carried coffee to the Caribbean and South America during the 1700s. Brazil would eventually become the largest producer in the world. Despite these geographic shifts, the culture surrounding coffee had already formed centuries earlier in Muslim cities. Consider what coffee encouraged: long nights of study, structured conversation, encounters between strangers, exposure to unfamiliar ideas. These conditions support intellectual growth. Many modern practices still reflect that heritage. Turkish coffee preserves the Ottoman brewing style. Arabic coffee maintains lighter roasting traditions. Serving coffee to guests remains closely tied to hospitality across much of the Middle East. By the 1800s, coffee had become a global commodity. Industrial roasting increased output. Steamships shortened journeys. Cafes appeared from Vienna to New York. Today, around 2 billion cups are consumed each day. Yet the modern cafe echoes an older world, a world where worshippers sought concentration, where scholars gathered after sunset, and where a simple drink encouraged people to sit longer and speak more openly. Coffee did not merely travel from the Muslim world. It carried with it habits of discussion and learning. So the next time you lift a cup, remember its path ran through the highlands of Ethiopia, the scholarly circles of Yemen, the docks of Al-Mukha, and the coffee houses of Istanbul. What began as a drink associated with devotion became one of humanity's most shared daily rituals, a small cup with a very long history. If you found this video beneficial and want more content like it, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps bring forward more stories from history that deserve attention. Turn on notifications so you do not miss future uploads.